Seth Lakeman and Fight for Favour, one of my favourite songs of the year. Isn't that beautiful?
It's very nice, yeah, I've not heard it before.
On Radio 2.
Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, Christmas Eve. You know that already, I don't know why I'm
We're giving gifts. We're giving the gift of song.
Yeah.
And chat.
The gift of chat, the gift of Rockbusters.
The gift of
gobbledygook.
The gift of Karl.
Yeah.
To the nation. You cannot buy that. You can't bottle it. I'd like to see him bottled.
That'd be ideal.
Like a little frog.
Pickled in a jar.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. He will be one day. He will be in Ripley's.
Yes.
One day.
Yeah.
And they say he used to walk round amongst us.
Exactly.
It's quite normal. But, let's not forget why we give gifts.
Well, yeah, just to cheer people up and that.
Yeah. No, it's because the wise men gave
okay.
gifts to the baby Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's why.
What would you have got the baby Jesus? I'd probably got him tokens. And let him decide, because it's very, you know what I mean, you don't want to get anything, you know, and then he doesn't like it, he wants to take it back.
Well, I'll tell you, in a recent poll Waterstones did, the favourite gift for children was Flanimals. Still available.
That's so outrageous. That's so disgraceful. It's Christmas Eve.
What would you have got him then?
Probably extras on DVD. I don't make any money from Flanimals.
Yeah.
I like the fact that, one of the wise men turned up with gold. And the other two, frankincense and myrrh, which as I understand it is what, it's like incense or something? Incense or perfume?
I don't know.
I believe that's what it is. I just love the idea that one of them stood up, they've all got together, they've gone, okay now guys, we're not gonna spend more than 50 quid each this year, alright?
Definitely not.
Definitely not. So what have you all got? Before we go in and see him, what have you all got?
I spent a bit more than 50.
What are you talking about, man? We just say we weren't spending, we were just gonna whip
just got him
cheap, like a token.
No, I got him some gold.
Can't believe it, what?
Well, I'm trying to make an impression, he's the son of God.
But I didn't know, but we only got I got frankincense.
And what did the other fella get?
He got myrrh, and I don't even know what that is, and I'm a wise man. He'd have been, surely one of them must have been furious.
Is myrrh still popular? Gold still very popular.
Oh, I hope so, because this is what my grand's getting this year.
Really?
Yeah, lovely.
Well, that's why we give gifts.
Do you know, like, how he got them gifts? Right?
Yeah.
Little baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Were they for Christmas or his birthday?
I don't know.
Radio 2 indeed. You heard the Pogues, Fairy Tale of New York. One of the best Christmas songs ever. I think the best Christmas song ever, and one of the best songs ever.
Absolutely. No, that's not
it's brilliant. Do you like that, Karl?
It's alright, yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoying yourself, Karl?
What, being here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. I mean, we're getting looked after and that. I can't believe, like, you know, the amount of food and that we've got here. It's mental.
Yeah, mince pies, fruit, it's all going on.
Just like a little harvest festival going on.
Yeah.
Where you take the pineapple chunks for an old lady.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going alright. I mean, I've been sort of listening to Radio 2, you know, the last few weeks.
Sure.
Enjoying it and that, and sort of, you know, making sure we get the show right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want it to fit into everybody else's shows and that.
Oh
so,
yeah, this fits into everyone else's show.
I've been thinking.
Oh yeah, this is great. This show, this is perfect.
Listen again, of course, on bbc.co.uk/Radio 2.
But something that Wogan does, right, on breakfast, Terry Wogan, right? He does this little thing called Thought of the Day.
Yeah.
And I thought we could carry it on. I've like a little.
What, you're gonna do it?
Just have a little thought.
Well, if you ever have a little thought, please tell us and we'll put it up on the website.
Oh.
You want to do thought for the day?
Yeah. It's a big feature, isn't it? He does it in
Have you got one? Have you got a thought for the day you want to do, or are you just gonna, when I,
Well...
Alright, well, okay, well, no, alright, well, let's have a little jingle. Have a little jingle.
Okay, I don't know what the jingle is, I
don't, but just make something up.
Listen to Radio 2, the Ricky Gervais Show, with Thought for the Day, with Karl Pilkington.
Right, well, thanks for having me, right?
Brilliant.
Just like to say, you know, it's Christmas time. Just, you know, cheer someone up, have a laugh with them, make the day and that. So, happy Christmas.
That's it.
That's your thought for the day.
You don't need to mess about, you know what I mean? Just, if you can do that today, yeah, I'll add that. If you can do that today, cheer someone up. Right?
I mean, this is quite sweet. Karl is quite sweet. You know,
Yeah.
I think I give him, I don't know, not child rights, because children are a lot more intelligent than Karl. I don't know, sort of, I suppose animal rights? No, no. because they're
No, but it's
Well, I mean, you see, the thing is, Wogan normally has on a priest or a rabbi or a thinker, not normally the modern equivalent of, you know, Frankenstein's monster.
yeah,
so,
no, but I've been busy, haven't I? I haven't got time to. They sort of drag it out. They have like a fable or something, don't they? Cut out all that, right? Because you know they've got a lot of time on their hands when they're
vicars.
Yeah, just you know when they're in their house.
Well, not Christmas. It's their busy time as well. I'd have thought Christmas vicars. Do you think they only work Sundays?
Well, yeah, again, you know, I'm always a bit worried because I don't want to have a go and that, but, you know, they do alright for themselves, they get given that house to live in and that.
no, they do, well, it's the house of God, you don't actually get to keep it.
No, it's not a house of God, they live next door to the house of God.
Right.
That's the house of the vicar. They usually live, joined
The
on.
house of Barrett.
Yeah, the house of Fraser. Yeah. No, the vicar lives in a little vicar's house, little vicarage, and that's usually joined on to the house of God. Yeah. You don't get those addresses mixed up. He doesn't get all God's mail and he's going, ooh, it's for you again.
Well, I mean, you've heard now the way that Carl's mind thinks. You've heard over the last hour and 25 minutes. We've got these, Coldplay collectibles and stuff to give away. If you have a question for Carl, okay, you've seen the way he thinks.
Brilliant.
A question that you want to ask him, you want to get his opinion on something, you might want to get his opinion on, the supernatural, on, you know,
civil rights.
Anything you want. Just get his mind work, because he loves to learn, he loves to be educated, he loves to ask questions. You can text them in, 882921, you can email them in, gervais@bbc.co.uk.
This is an example of how Carl thinks. Once, me and Steve were talking to Carl, and we told him that, they're gonna be able to bring back a mammoth soon. Bring a mammoth to life. He went, you're joking. And we thought, oh, that's interesting, isn't it? And then we realised, I said, what do you think we said? He thought we said man moth.
A man moth.
Right? And we said, what were you thinking when you thought it was a man moth? He said, I thought of a little moth with a fella's head bumping into a lamp.
Stevie Wonder on Radio 2, I Wish, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
You wish you were Stevie Wonder.
I'd love to be Stevie Wonder.
He's great, isn't he? Well, Karl has started offending everyone, as we thought, but we've got to explain, Karl does, I mean, he honestly means no harm. He does these things
What bit?
What?
What for said?
Well, this is from Reverend, Gwyn Owen from Stockwood.
Yeah.
A vicar, okay? When I'm tired of being a vicar and working one day a week, maybe I'll become a DJ and do bugger all week.
And that's a vicar swearing.
Yeah, you made a vicar swear! That's how infuriating
Well, hang on a minute,
you are!
Why does he listen to the radio if he's busy?
He's done you, Reverend.
Oh dear!
No,
Anyway,
if you have a
thank
question
for
for Karl, we're going to give away these Coldplay collectibles. If you have a question that you think will really pique his interest, really make his mind work, then you can get in touch with us, and the best question will win those Coldplay collectibles and a few other odds and ends we got knocking around.
Gifts.
Yeah. But did I ever tell you about the gift? I think my father's favourite gift he ever received one Christmas. It was and I was so jealous of it because I was a kid and I thought this is amazing. Probably about 10.
Right.
And I thought this was dynamite. I was so jealous. It was a reversible jacket.
What happened to them?
Well, I know. I mean, they were all the rage for about 25 minutes, and it was but what was great about it is it seems to me with a reversible jacket, what you want is say checks on one side and just say plain blue on the other. So it completely looks like a completely different jacket.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, obviously a little bit cheaper, Mum not splashing out a huge amount. It was it had a beige body and white arms.
Yeah.
Turned it inside out, beige arms, white body. It looked almost identical. And I could never quite understand when he was ever going to utilise that. When people would think, you know, do you know what I mean? When he'd walk to a party, they'd say,
well, I think it was having two jackets in one that was the buzz, not there. So he'd go into a party, and I'd go, alright, Ron, new jacket. He goes, yeah. Notice before I go to the toilet, that this is a beige body with white arms. Yeah, alright, whatever one. No. But when I come down, notice that when I came in, I was wearing a jacket that had a beige body and white arms. You got that? Yeah, alright, yeah. He comes down, I go, remember that jacket I came in wearing? Yeah, the beige body, have another look. Have another look. That's what.
Wait a minute, that must be a completely different jacket.
It is a completely different
You must be one of the richest men in Bristol.
But hold on, but you weren't carrying anything, you didn't have a bag or anything? No, well, okay, if you're not saying it's a reversible jacket, alright? It's the best. But
the only idea of a reversible jacket must be so that people think that you've got two jackets. That's the whole point, surely.
I know.
I don't understand what's the appeal otherwise.
One black, one white, one furry, one... I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so reversible, that's why they died out.
Yeah, clearly.
Like the dinosaur. Like the dinosaur, Carl, we didn't need them.
Didn't need them. Still be here if we needed them. Well, they're bringing back a mammoth, aren't they? So
yeah, they are bringing back a mammoth.
Thing. But listen, you know, we're chatting about presents and all that, and before my little thought of the day about...
It was a little thought.
Just, you know, cheer someone up if you can.
Brilliant.
Right?
I mean, it's a nice sentiment, but it's... Yeah, okay, go on.
Well, there's an old woman, right, who lives
In a
next
shoe?
door... Who lives next door to my mum and dad, right? And this is what I mean about, you know, the old people, they might not have that many people cheering them up this time of year. So, you know, if you can, get them a little gift and that, because what happened was, this old woman living next door to my mum and dad...
How old are you?
This was only about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Right? And, you know, I think her son's left home, doesn't keep in touch, you know. Doesn't even phone her, I don't think, and that, right? Quite sad. And, I thought I'll give her a bit of my time, have a chat with her, try and cheer her up and stuff. And, I said, alright, how's it going? She said, yeah, not bad, I need a new, you know, dishwasher. Right? I was going, yeah, and she was saying, but I don't get a chance to get out these days, you know, I can't get about like I did. And all that, I'm going, yeah, it's bad that. Anyway, I go to, like, one of those big superstores where they sell all electrical stuff and that, right? I'm in there, I think, oh, I'll get her a little catalogue so she can have a look, right? Got back, gave her that, I said, there you go, whilst I was in the superstore, get you a little catalogue so you can have a look at dishwashers and that. She's over the moon, she still goes on about it. It was years ago.
What, that you got her a catalogue?
I got her a catalogue.
I thought you said you were going to buy her a dishwasher.
No, just a catalogue and that.
Oh, but your life is sort of like just bittersweet tragedy.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like something from Shameless.
I know, but it is though, because you've got in the street and there's people knocking around with big heads and webbed hands and webbed feet. I mean, that must have been.
Well, she's pretty weird. Anyway, this old woman, because she was.
And that's coming from you.
No. Well, after I got her the catalogue and that, she opened up a bit and she was saying how, you know, she's a bit odd anyway, because she woke up one morning with blood sort of falling on her head from a dead rabbit hanging over her. So I mean, she's a nice.
What are you talking about?
No, that's what she went on to. She sort of opened up a bit. And said,
what street? What street were you born in? Where is this place?
Is it Elm Street that you live on?
She just said a man was a witch or something. So it was like,
oh, like normal. Like you said, like it's normal.
Just a bit odd, isn't it? But you know, I mean, but talking about like where I live and all that, right? One story that I've told you before, and everyone's always like, that didn't happen, right? Just a couple of houses sort of down from where I lived, there was this family who had a horse in their house.
They what?
They had like a horse in their house. I'd been out with my dad, right? And I drove back into the, my dad was driving, he went back into the avenue, sort of went down to the bottom to turn round to get back to our house.
Just via the OK Corral?
Just sort of did a little glance and I saw this horse being led in. Had a horse in there and stuff.
Well, have you been back to visit your street?
Don't really, there's no...
Why did they have a horse in the house? I don't understand.
I don't know, I think they must have nicked it or something like that. It was a council estate in Manchester and, you know, I've told that story.
They've just been doing a bit of wrestling.
Yeah, they made the horse go in with a hoodie. And they said, don't call suspicion. Yeah. Just like, you know, we just pretend it's our long-lost brother.
Just pretend we're rehearsing a panto.
Yeah. It's two blokes. It's just two blokes in this horse. Well, that's amazing. The little old lady who gave her a catalogue. That's very sweet. You see that? And it's just a little thought. That's your thought for the day, isn't it? Just cheer someone up. So nip down to Argos. There's free ones stacked up. Go and hand them out to the elderly. They love it.
The Jayhawks on Radio 2, bad time, is it? I think it's called Bad Time. So we were so distracted by all the questions that come in.
These are great. Thank you so much for emailing and texting. They're brilliant. Here's one from Reverend Rachel Harrison. I'm also a vicar, and I'm making mince pies. We know our demographic now. We got a load of vicars listening.
Yeah, well, you know, they're good at spreading the word and that, aren't they? You know, tell people about the show and stuff.
And also mincemeat, clearly.
So, yeah, all vicars listening, spread the word. Tell them about Karl.
And have a great time tomorrow. It's your special day.
Although does Karl go against creationism or for it? I don't know.
What do you mean?
Would he have evolved or did something make it?
All I'll say to would God have bothered to- Is that in God's image? I mean, that's surely the most blasphemous thing you could say.
Bod made him in his image.
Yeah.
He's made in the image of Bod.
Is he the one who sort of decided...
Who?
God? Are you talking about God or Bod?
God and that.
Okay.
Is he the one who decided that, you know, we should move out of the water and walk on land? Did he decide that, or once he made the little egg, did he sort of go run free? I
don't know where we are. I don't know what part of the...
Could I just say, if there are any vicars out there, could Karl come and do a sermon one day? I mean, we do a big donation to your roof, but can Karl just talk to 5 minutes to a really sort of, like an upper middle class educated parish somewhere, and Karl just comes and talks for 10 minutes.
The only time that a congregation anywhere has heckled the person doing it. Get off!
Yeah, then they're chasing to the castle, carrying pickaxe handles.
Torches. So we've got some questions for Karl.
These are amazing questions. Okay.
And just give your immediate response to them, Karl. Not too much thinking time. Yeah,
okay.
Right.
What would happen if insects were bigger than us?
Who's that from?
Vicky of Milton Keynes, maybe. I don't know, it ran out, so I don't think there is a place called Milto. It's from Vicky. Karl, what would happen if insects were bigger than us? She's going into the possible winner file there.
Would David Attenborough still like his job? Do you know what I mean? Would he start worrying? Because I've got that point, just because, you know, insects and that, he's always messing about with them, but would he be that keen to, like, 8 foot? Is what I mean.
If they look like me. Sure.
Brilliant. Okay. Look, this is a nice one. This is, from, Jason. Can Karl do something to prove you are on live and not recorded? I'm sure that will tax his little bald head to bursting point.
What's his name?
Jason.
How can you prove that we're live on air?
Come on, how could you prove that we're live on air?
Happy Christmas Eve, Jason.
No, we could have recorded this a week ago.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be Christmas Eve.
No, but...
Happy Christmas Eve, isn't it?
No, but we'd have recorded
Karl,
it and
think!
Right, it's nearly 11:45.
Yeah, but we could have started with the clock knowing that we were going to record it as live. We could have done this last Wednesday.
Alright, it's Radio 2, it's a nice day out there, sun's out.
Well, that's a guess. And do you think? Oh, it is sunny. Yeah, it is sunny.
But
yeah.
Generally,
but hold on, wait a minute. We're in London. Someone listening in Manchester, it might be raining.
It probably is raining.
Look, he can't work out how to make sure it's live. Look at him looking up in the sky. Look at him. His head is going to burst. There's a little bit of blood coming from his ear. How can we prove we're live?
My mum's budgie died last night. Don't laugh about it. Don't laugh.
Only your mum that can confirm that.
No one knows whether your budgie died or not. Was he pictured holding a copy of today's paper? What are you talking about, Karl?
I can't prove anything then.
You're so right.
Next question.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh God, Karl. Where would you go if you had a time machine? That's Bob from Manchester.
Where would I go? I can go to any time.
Yeah.
And how long, once I get there...
Oh,
yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, what am I doing? Am I staying in the little box and just looking out of a window? Or am I...
Let's assume you can wander around.
Okay, we'll do both. First of all, you're wandering round.
I'm just one... And I've typed in the year.
Oh.
And to be honest, I'm not that good at history, so I don't know what happened when. So I'd be better off just sort of letting someone else have a go and asking them when they get back, just sort of...
Karl, where would you go? What do you fancy? Just think.
Would you like to see dinosaurs?
Would you like to see the Roman Empire? Would you like to see the 1960s? Would you like to go back and see your nan as a kid?
Shouldn't really mess with time though, should you?
No, you're not.
It's not actually going to happen. No one's actually invented one yet.
What period of history are you interested in?
Probably. I mean, I sort of like the 60s. But we still sort of, you know, we don't really...
Next question. Unbelievable. Everyone's got an answer to that. Everyone wants to know where they can go back in time,
well,
except
where would you go back in time to?
I'd go back to religious times. I'd go back to the birth of Jesus, see what was going on.
Really?
Yeah. See how the frankincense and myrrh went down.
There was this thing started, I saw it in the paper about 15 years ago. A guy put an advert in a local paper, I think it was in Sheffield, saying, I've been reincarnated. I was a cow at the birth of Jesus. Is anyone else out there that was reincarnated? It was the birth of Jesus. Fella got in touch, said I was a cow too, and they started a society called Cattle for Christ. Just the two of them. I don't know where they held their annual general meetings. I
wonder if that's still going.
I don't know. But imagine if you were at the birth of Christ and they're going, oh, do you remember it? He goes, yeah, but I couldn't quite see. There was just a bit of wood in it. I didn't really see that. I remember the men, they were arguing over spending.
All I could see was your backside.
I know, yeah. So, think of that, Karl. Okay, final question. Right, okay. Karl, if you could, travel back in time to ancient Rome and take one modern invention, with you to set yourself up as a god king, what would it be? What would you take back? That's from Amy. Sorry, Arvy in London.
Going back to Roman times.
Yeah, so what would you take back to make sure that you were king? Would it be a weapon? Would it be,
yeah, a weapon is pretty violent times, won't it? Yeah, I'll have a weapon if that's
Well, what though?
Gun. Have a gun, take that.
And what would you do with it once you were there?
Well, I'd probably, I don't like killing animals and that, but they used to use tigers a lot, so shoot one of them in the head. No, because
there's no explanation why.
No explanation for it.
Just do it.
I love him. Okay, look, we've got to give this, I think can Karl do something to prove you're alive?
Yeah, you completely foxed him. There was nothing he could think of in his tiny little brain to prove that this is live.
So, I think little Jason wins the Coldplay collectibles and, some other stuff. So, well done. He still can't prove it. He still can't prove it.
Play a tune, then we'll have some,
You could have just
news.
said, you could have just picked up today's paper and read the headline. Think!
Monkey news after this.
Karl, we have just had a communique from Gillian Oliver, who's the communications director for the Church of England.
Yeah.
Okay, she wants to take you up on your offer. She would like to take you to Manchester and let you give a sermon.
About what?
Well, don't you think that's she's in charge of the press and communications for the Church of England, and you've got to do this, Karl, for my sake. I'll go to church if you do this.
I've been. I didn't really like it. I had to go once to church. It was years ago when I was a kid, and I swore. Right, my mate Jamie said, "Right, if you don't come with me to church," because he was Catholic, he had to go. Right? So if you don't come with me now, I'm going to tell your mum that you swore. And that.
That's how to get people into church.
So I went. Right. Didn't enjoy it. Sort of got kicked out in the end because I was bouncing my tennis ball in the aisle and it rolled down.
I better tell Gillian Oliver that may happen again.
Yes.
That's if you don't take your yo-yo or your Ninja, you've got to do it. I'm going to make sure. We want a campaign. Please email us if you want Karl to do a sermon. And I'm sure we can film this and put it on the web for you to see. Oh, please do a religious sermon.
Listen, we've barely got any time now for Monkey News. Now a lot of people are probably unfamiliar with Monkey News because it's the first time we've been on Radio 2. Rick, how would you summarise Monkey News? I mean, obviously Karl is fascinated by monkeys.
Karl believes everything he reads. He goes on websites that don't get verified at all. It's mostly nonsense, but he believes it because there's about monkeys doing incredible things, and Karl thinks that monkeys can one day talk. He wants to live in the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
basically.
that's his dream.
He thinks the Flintstones is a documentary, and Karl,
Right.
let's do Monkey News.
Right,
The jingle.
Do the jingle live.
Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News.
Right, well, I thought we'd go for sort of a Christmas feel, right? So, this one, it happened in Stockholm, right? A couple of years ago, around the Christmas time. There's this little grotto, right?
Oh,
Everything he says is funny, isn't it?
A little grotto was set up and stuff, right? And, it was getting busier and busier, right? This little grotto, there was only one in Stockholm, right? Queue was massive and stuff.
Well, that's not true.
And this,
That's not true. There's
No,
not
but
one.
fine, just listen.
But that's not true. A couple of years ago,
interrupt the
if
news.
you'd have said 1,000 years ago.
yeah, it was busy and
interrupt
that.
the
And there was this bloke who had a kid, and the kid was saying, "Dad, can I go and see, Father Christmas in the grotto?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I don't want to join that queue, it's too big," right? And loads of the Father Christmases who was in the booth, they kept jacking it in because the queue was that big.
What do you mean
Too
loads of
stressful.
Father Christmas in the booth? What
Because
booth?
they got through loads in the grotto, the Father Christmas and that, right? They couldn't act the pressure of the queues. The queues were massive for this grotto.
This is rubbish.
So they
come on,
kept,
come
they
on,
get
yeah.
getting through like loads of Father Christmases.
They just
Like,
kept walking
different
on.
people. They kept saying, "I can't handle this. You'll have to get a new one in," right?
Right, okay.
Anyway, so this fella, right? The kid kept asking every day, "Can we go in there?" He said, "No, look, the queue's big." Anyway, one day, the queue was suddenly a lot shorter, right? Because they got a new little Father Christmas fella.
Right.
In the
Right,
grotto.
Karl. If this Father Christmas turns out to be about
So-
3'6" and hairy,
So anyway, right, so he's going, "Come on then, we'll join the queue," right? So he joins the queue, and he's the queue's going down really fast, people are going in and out really quick, and he's going, how's he managing to do this, right? And he sort of looks through the curtain, he can just see a little slight thing, and he can see the bloke who's, like, dressed up as Father Christmas, he's handing him out with his hands and his feet and that, right? So they're going, "No, look, if you don't..."
I'm going to die!
Anyway, so
Please don't interrupt the news, Rick. I want to hear the news. No, just.
so he's queuing up, right, and he's going, oh, he's good on him, you know, he's got a new method of handing out the presents and that. Whilst he's queuing there, there's a little fella selling, chestnuts, so he thinks, oh, I'll buy some of them, and, you know, something to munch on whilst I'm in the queue and stuff.
Yeah.
And, so anyway, he's queuing up, he's eating the chestnuts, comes to his turn, right?
It's absolute rubbish.
What are you on about?
It's absolute rubbish.
So,
cut a long story short, you reckon that they hired a chimp to hand out presents for Christmas?
and so he brought the chestnuts in, and the monkey attacked him, and
he went off, right? And he's going, why is it all going mad? And
you're talking rubbish.
There's a little fella that sat there with like a little beard on and that.
Yeah, you're talking rubbish. You're talking rubbish.
Well, it's not worth me carrying on then.
No, it's not worth you carrying on, because again, it's absolute rubbish. That didn't happen. There's no way they'd hire a chimp, and there's no way people go, they'd notice, they'd see it was a chimp!
Forget it.
They'd say it was absolute rubbish. If you wanna, find out more about Karl, what's the website address, Karl?
bbc.co.uk.
And I've drawn a little picture that you can win of Karl, and it really sums him up.
Alright. See you later then. Right. Next week, innit?
Yeah.
Right.